What's up, guys? 1776er bust. So I'm going to talk a little bit about parenting. This isn't going to apply to all of you. Hell, it may not apply to any of you for all I know. But for those of you out there who have kids and are actively involved in sports, one of the things that I would definitely warn you about if your kids aren't up to that level or not really engaging in sports right now, but will be, is you got to set them up for success, but also prepare them for disappointment. And that's huge because, not everything is going to work out for them. Not everything is going to be, for them in regards to being successful and getting all the rewards that they want. For example, today, my son was trying out for the 2024, that's his graduation year. So it's the 2024 Under Armour national team, which it's a huge thing. I mean, there's a lot of kids that go, depending on the region that you're at, you basically try out in your state, and then if you make the team, then you basically go and play in Maryland against other states. So it's kind of a big deal. So, we had to pay for it, which, was not fun, but it was something he wanted to do. I said to him he can pick a couple of showcases that he wants to try out for, or at least show up for, and see how he does. And he went, and he was not successful. He did not make the team. He did not make the final cut. And, he was disappointed. He didn't really want to talk to anybody. And I explained to him that it doesn't matter if he made the team. What mattered is that he had the guts and the courage to go and try out. And that's huge. For those of you who are not into a lot of these organized sports, especially like lacrosse, because it's kind of a different beast, it's really a lot of kids who are going to private schools, who are going to academies like IMG. Up here, you got a lot of kids in New York who are going to private Catholic schools, whether it's even in New Jersey or locally here. So the competition is rough. And then on top of that, some of the darker sides of this is you have parents who reclass their kids. So like, let's say, for example, my son, who's going to be a sophomore, who graduates 2024, that's his graduation year, he was playing against kids today that were in some instances 18 years old, even though they're graduating the same year as him, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure how they get away with that part of it. Probably because you have to you're allowed to go to school till you're 21, at least in New York State, which is interesting. But, honestly, guys, I couldn't be more proud of my kids. They go for it. And as a parent, speaking to all of you parents out there, if you are going to invest the time and the money and the energy of getting these kids into organized sports, it's awesome to see them be successful, but it's even more important to teach them about what happens when you're not, what happens when you face an obstacle. Like I said, I couldn't be any prouder. I know he didn't make the team. It would have been great if he did. But at the least, he understands that it isn't always going to be success that he finds. And it's how he handles that adversity that means a lot, because that's going to help him in life. And I would say that to any parent. You've got to teach your kids how to handle that adversity, how you handle that disappointment. Do you let it bury you, or do you recover from it and try that much even harder the next time around? So for him, I'm totally happy because he had the balls to go out and do it. And he didn't have any friends there. He didn't know anybody there. He just went out and did it. He goes to a small public school, doesn't go to any private academies or anything like that. And he's still competing with kids who are literally paying $70,000, $80,000 a year just to go to some of these schools, which is insane to me. But I couldn't be any prouder. So teach those kids success is great, but how are you going to handle that adversity when it comes your way? Because it will. Not everybody's going to be 100% successful 100% of the time. And you really got to rise to the occasion when you don't find that success. So thank you, my son, for going out there and showing the guts and courage to do so. He made the Hudson Valley Regional team, which is pretty cool. So he'll be playing some kids from New York State in a couple of weeks from all different regions to determine who's the best region of lacrosse in New York State. And that was a great accomplishment. So for every win, there may be a loss, but then you got to decide how you want to handle it. So leave comments down below. What do you tell your kids? How do you tell them to handle adversity? Hell, how do you handle it yourself? But I think it's just a good lesson for people in general to learn that when things don't go your way all the time, it's okay, because you're going to grow from it. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe. As always, freedom is never free.